Wizards of the Coast has a new D&D board game title I see, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. Dragonlance, Warriors of Krynn. This is good for 3 to 5 players, ages 12 and up, and should take you about an hour or two to finish. We zero in on this notion that Dragonlance is a war story, says Ray Winnegar, head of D&D at Wizards. Classic Dragonlance is set against the backdrop of a massive conflict, and these sort of massive military battles are an important part of the Dragonlance story. One of the original 12 Dragonlance modules was a war game, Dragons of Glory. They asked you to stop your role-playing game experience and to start playing a war game for a bit. It allows you to build out a sort of massive military battles in the world of Krynn, but one of the interesting things about this game is that it has a lot of narrative elements, just like a role-playing game. Well, that's what Wizards of the Coast had to say about this new title of theirs. Now, I've been there at the beginning. I was there when the original Dragonlance came out, the novels and the modules, and I loved them so much. I was a willing part of that world, and to see that it has now found a place in modern D&D is pretty damn awesome, if you ask me. Now, over the years, I honestly don't think that there has been enough Dragonlance board game titles that have been out in the market. So to see a new one, especially one that ties in sort of directly with their module series, that I think is a highly positive thing. I don't recall them ever doing this before with their board games. There's no D&D board game I can recall that ties in directly with the active modules that they are publishing. So that right there, that's a grabber. Another exciting aspect, or at least potentially exciting, I'm just reading about this, I haven't played it, is the fact that this is all doom and gloom. I mean, you know that the dragon armies are going to win. There's no way that the dragon armies are going to be defeated. That's not the point. The point is what your heroes, your adventurers, what they are doing during the course of the war, what missions they themselves have to accomplish. That is what's important here, not the backdrop of the war that ultimately at this point right now, you're not going to win. You just need to accomplish your goals. That's doom and gloom, but yet there is still the hope right there. I love that. What a great feeling this game is bringing. Now, although this game is not listed as a solo play game, everything that I've read and seen about this so far, this is a fully cooperative game with no hidden aspects. There's no secret information or knowledge in this game between the players. Everything is completely open. So therefore, a cooperative game like this can be soloed. You just have to remember that you are going to be using multiple characters all yourself. But it's still going to be possible. You still can potentially solo this game. And I think that nowadays the potential to have a game be soloable is highly important. So it's great to see it here, especially in a D&D game. Yeah. Now, the reason a little earlier I was a little hesitant to say that it was I'm not saying it's fully cooperative with Shadow of the Dragon Queen module, though it's supposed to be. It's listed that way. Everyone is saying that it is. But I'm going to point something out that nobody that I can tell is really pointing out here. No matter how much they love this game, it's not fully compatible with the D&D module, I'm sorry to say. And you know that just by looking at the player count. The 3 to 5 players. You could very well have 6 or 7 sitting at your RPG table. And that's not including, I'm not including the DM in this. And this board game, Warriors of Krynn, doesn't have a DM. So now your number of players going from the RPG to the board game has just increased by 1. So the fact that this only plays 3 to 5 means that potentially 1, 2, or several of your players are going to have to sit this out. So no, it's not fully compatible with the modules. And actually, from what I can tell, there seems to be no, or maybe just little weight that this adds to the ongoing series that they're publishing. It's not like you're going to have to, 2-3 modules in, realize, oh shit, there was something I was supposed to do in the board game, in the second part of this whole thing. No, it's not going to matter like that. So you can play with it. You can play your characters from the RPG as board game versions of themselves. Yes, you can do that. But as far as being linked to and an important part and connected to the module, no, well, at least not for all your players, just for about half of your session, your team, your party. I just wanted to point that out. And another awesome thing about this is I love it anytime a board game has the potential, the possibility of linking the adventures in the adventure book together in a campaign form. And that's really, from what everyone says, that seems to be where this game thrives. That's where this game lives. That's its home, is this campaign setup, because things that you do in one part of the campaign adventure in this board game will affect the next board game adventure, or maybe one after that down the road. But there is going to be some, albeit small at times from what I've read, but still there's going to be implications, consequences for what you've done earlier in the board game to what's coming up in the board game. That's awesome. How can you not love it when something does that? Now, also the fact that this is set, as the publisher blurb said, this is set in the backdrop of the war that's going on. And just knowing the explosiveness that's all around the players, the potential of danger just from enemy armies or the attacks of enemy armies in a large-scale area. All of this is exploding around you. And that adds to this excitement level of tension. How could it not? Yeah, everything about this game, being a D&D fan particularly, but even not being, if someone isn't necessarily a big D&D fan, a lot of the aspects in this game are really screaming at you to try them out, to give this game a shot. I think so anyway. That's what I hear when I read and see about this game. So if you want more information, please go get your own information. Don't necessarily be influenced by anybody. Make your own darn decision after you see some more information on this game, all right? So go check out what you can about Wizard of the Coast's title, Warriors of Krynn.